Hello, my thinking third graders. Does this look like something you've seen before? All right, everybody knows this is the very first page of our story that we started last week and we're working on again this week. Dog of the Sea Man, Dog of the Sea Waves. See, messed it up. Dog of the Sea Waves. And this is the very first page of text. It's very recognizable by the beautiful watercolors and how the illustrator also added images of different plant and animal life in Hawaii and then used the labels like they do in nonfiction to tell you what that was. So I really liked that part of this story too. Okay, but if you notice, this page 314, is different than any other page. This page is written in blue ink and it's written in italics, that slanted text that we talked about. And they use slanted italic text to signal something, right? And this is an introduction to the story. So it's not going to tell you the many plots, but it's going to tell you what you need to know, kind of like background information, so that you know what's happening. Okay. And I want us to look at the very, very, very first sentence. 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands. Okay, that's what the story is about. 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands. It's a complete thought. It can stand all by itself. So we know we would call that an independent clause because it can stand all by itself. 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands. I bet you read it. You didn't think anything of it. You just knew it was a sentence and you moved on. But what if I take that sentence, 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands, and I change it a little bit? What if I say, when 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands? Then is it a complete thought anymore? It isn't. Then what? Well, okay, it leaves you with a question. What? When 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands, they discover the importance of friendship. When 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands, one brother gets very homesick. When 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands, right? We need something else to follow that. We need another clause to follow that because we have created, when we added this word when, we created a dependent clause. All right? What if I changed it from after 5 brothers explore the Hawaiian Islands? Well, I need more information, right? Okay, so while this sentence is a beautiful independent sentence all by itself, if we added a word at the beginning of it, we would change it. We would make it into a dependent clause, which would then need more information, would need an independent clause to follow it. Can you spy a sentence on here? We're gonna, and I'm gonna talk more about that later this week, but they're called complex sentences when they have an independent and a dependent clause. Can you spy one? Ready? It's right here, the very last sentence. When it's time for the brothers to go home, Manu is unsure if he'll ever see his friend again. Okay, so it starts with this dependent clause. When it's time for the brothers to go home. If we took off the word when, it would be fine. It's time for the brothers to go home. It's time for dinner. It's time for you to read a story, right? But if we add the word when, we then have to add this other complete thought. Manu is unsure if he'll ever see his friend again. So this is what we call a complex sentence. It has a dependent clause when it's time for the brothers to go home, and it has an independent clause. Manu is unsure if he'll ever see his friend again. You read it last week. You read it beautifully when you read it to yourself. And I bet you didn't even notice that you were reading a dependent and an independent clause. Notice what's right in between them? A comma. Okay, so let's take a little look at some other examples today, okay? So here are some sentences. I can tell they're sentences. Thomas eats ice cream. I have a subject, Thomas. I have a verb, eats, and this tells what he eats. So that's called a direct object. We haven't gotten that far, but Thomas eats ice cream. It is raining outside. It's been raining all day today. It's Sunday when I'm filming this, so it's been raining all day. third grade is almost finished. That makes my heart ache, but that is true. It's a fact, right? Okay. All right. These are all great sentences. They all have a subject, Thomas, it, third grade. They all have a verb, eats, is raining. That's about verb team. And then is, and a being verb. And they all are a complete thought. They all are independent clauses. They can stand completely by themselves. Like write them all by themselves, right? So they all start with a capital letter and end with an end mark. Great. But what if I put some words in front of them? What if I put, let's pick one of these words under here, unless. Unless it's raining outside, I will have my baseball game. Unless it's raining outside, I will have my baseball game. When I added this word unless, I changed this independent clause into a dependent clause, right? Unless it's raining outside. Well, then what? Well, then I will have my baseball game. Okay. Let's see. Third grade is almost finished. What if I add this word? Since third grade is almost finished, what? Right? It's not a thought. It's not a complete thought. So I have to add more information. Since third grade is almost finished, I will write a note to my teacher. I would love that, but you don't have to do that. Okay, how about this? Thomas eats ice cream. While Thomas eats ice cream, what? While Thomas eats ice cream, the dog sits at his feet. It's true. While Thomas eats ice cream. These words, while, unless, since, when, after, before, there's a bunch of them. We can add them in front of independent clauses. And when we add them, we make those independent clauses dependent clauses. Okay. And these words, while, unless, since, when, after, and before, are called subordinating conjunctions. That's big time. That's big stuff. We're going to finish strong here in third grade. Subordinating conjunctions. Okay? All right. So we're going to look at one page in our reader's notebook, and real simple. We'll do it. Look at it together, go through it together, and then you're going to finish it up on your own. Okay? All right. So this is RN, page 133. So you might want to get that out and flip to that page. And here are those two big words, subordinating conjunctions. All right. A subordinating conjunction, all it is that small little word that you can put in front of an independent clause, and then it makes it a dependent clause. It's that since, when, after, because, although, unless. Okay. All right. So let's just look at this. It says a complex sentence is formed by combining one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. We'll come back to that tomorrow, at least, because there's a part in our story that had, I think, 3 or 4 dependent clauses in the same sentence. We'll look at that tomorrow. If the dependent clause appears first, add a comma after it. Okay, and that's what I was showing you at the very beginning. On the very first page, I'll show you. Let's flip back. If the dependent clause comes first, when it's time for the brothers to go home, then we add that comma. Manu is unsure if he'll ever see his friend again. But if the dependent clause comes after, you don't. So what if we did it? Manu is unsure if he'll ever see his friend again when it's time for the brothers to go home. Then we don't put a comma there. Okay? All right. Well, we're going to practice them. We're going to see them again and again, and we're going to be great. Okay, here we go. So subordinating conjunctions begin dependent clauses. Some subordinating conjunctions are after, although, because, before, even though, since, unless, until, when, what. Okay? We had fun swimming because of the weather. We had fun swimming because of the weather. Because of the weather is dependent. It can't be all by itself. So we are going to attach it to make a complex sentence. We're going to attach it to this independent. We had fun swimming. If it comes second, you don't put anything in between. If it comes in the beginning, you put a comma, okay? And we'll take a look at a couple here. Okay, so the bottom of page 133 is what you're gonna do. It says underline the dependent clause, dependent, write the subordinating conjunction that begins the dependent clause. We're gonna do one together. So that means you only do 3 by yourself. Good gravy. It's like a gift. Okay, ready? Let me get my marker out. Underline the dependent clause. We will see the dolphins before we leave. What is dependent? What can't stand by itself? Before we leave. So we're going to underline before we leave. Uh-oh, sorry. You can do a better job of underlining. Before we leave, you got to underline that. And then what are you going to write in this line? Before. Now that would be a really funny joke if I could actually write it, but I don't know that I can, but you know, we'll have fun with this. Okay, so before is the subordinating conjunction. Oh my goodness. Okay, I should have probably just done a sticky note because that would have helped me. All right, let me go back and check that. There we go. Okay, so all you have to do is read the sentence, find, now this one, look, there's a mistake in this one. After we eat lunch, there should be a comma right there. After we eat lunch, comma. Because he forgot his lunch, comma, should be a comma in there. We will miss the dolphins unless we hurry, okay? Underline the dependent and then write the subordinating conjunction on the line. You only have 3 left to do. Take a picture and send it back. And maybe on the very side over here, draw a little heart for me. Have a great day. I miss y'all. Bye.